Welcome to the InnoGuide Podcast, where we share the works of authors and mentors to guide innovation. In this episode number 52, we'll be sharing 2034, How AI Changed Humanity by Kunal Gupta. Let me take you on a journey, a story of transformation of humanity's evolution alongside artificial intelligence. It begins with a simple truth. In a world where the improbable becomes the everyday, the future is only limited by the bounds of our imagination. This is the essence of 2034, a speculative nonfiction book written in 2024, looking back from the future to explore how AI reshaped our world over the course of a decade. When ChatGPT burst onto the scene in late 2022, it was like a spark igniting the collective imagination of humanity. But that was just the beginning. The decade that followed, 2024 to 2034, became a defining era, a time when humans and AI learned to coexist, collaborate, and ultimately transform the world together. This wasn't just a technological shift, it was a relationship, one that went through its own phases of norming and storming, much like any new partnership. There were moments of beauty, moments of conflict, and everything in between as we figured out how to rely on AI while still holding on to our individuality. This book doesn't shy away from the disruptive nature of AI. It's clear that this technology has been more transformative than the internet or even the smartphone. But here's the choice we all faced: to either be disrupted by AI or to lead the disruption. 2034 tells the stories of those who embraced the latter, thriving in a world of change, and those who resisted, only to be left behind. Initially, the narrative around AI was framed as human versus AI, a battle of sorts. But by 2034, that paradigm had shifted to human plus AI. Once we moved past our fears of being replaced, we began to see the immense potential of AI as a tool to build the world we wanted. This book isn't about predicting the future with precision. Instead, it's a thought experiment, a way to provoke reflection and spark your imagination. It's an invitation to dream, to explore the possibilities of what could be, and to confront your own feelings about change, whether it excites you or terrifies you. Ultimately, 2034 isn't about the evolution of AI, it's about us, how we changed, how we grew, and how we used AI to shape the next phase of human evolution. This is our story. Introduction: The Great Pivot. Welcome to January 1st, 2034. As I sit by my window, I see a world that would have been unimaginable just a decade ago. A woman chats with her smart earrings, checking the weather. A teenager laughs at a joke shared by his AI wristband. A child asks her toy, now an educational companion, why the sky is blue. These interactions are so ordinary now, yet they represent a profound shift from the world 10 years ago in 2024. Back then, life was simpler, almost quaint. People relied on clunky devices and virtual assistants that often gave hilariously wrong answers. Conversations happened face-to-face, and handwritten letters carried emotions that no emoji could replicate. Decisions were made based on human intuition, not algorithmic predictions. It wasn't a world without AI, but it was a world where AI was still a novelty, not a necessity. The turning point came with tools like ChatGPT, which introduced AI to the masses in fun, harmless ways, writing poems, proofreading essays, or telling jokes. But that was just the trailer. The full-length feature film arrived in the years that followed, and it changed everything. This period from 2024 to 2034 is now what we call the Great Pivot. During this Great Pivot, AI became integrated into nearly every aspect of life: art, writing, decision-making, automation, scientific discovery, and more. By 2034, imagining a world without AI feels as impossible as imagining a world without the internet did in 2024. This was a time when the boundaries of imagination dissolved and the line between what was real and what was possible blurred. It was a time of limitless dreams, many of which became reality. But like any great love story, our relationship with AI had its challenges. While many embraced the magic of AI, others resisted. Entire communities chose to disconnect, creating safe zones where life remained untouched by AI. These modern-day revolutions, from New York to Sydney, were born out of fear and a desire to slow down the relentless pace of change. Amid the chaos, the most surprising solutions often came from children. They became the guides, helping their grandparents recalibrate AI systems or sharing hacks in schoolyards. Their curiosity and adaptability led the way, reminding us that history isn't just a series of events, it's a collection of emotions, lessons, and growth. As we reflect on the Great Pivot, it's clear that this wasn't just a decade of technological advancement. It was a decade of human transformation. AI didn't just change the world, it changed us. And now in 2034, we stand at the threshold of a new era, ready to continue shaping our future with the tools we've created. So let's pause and reflect on this incredible journey. Welcome to 2034. Let's explore how we got here. AI took my job. Let's talk about something that hits close to home for many of us, the way AI has reshaped work, creativity, and even entire industries. This chapter is a story of change, humility, and reinvention. It's about how AI didn't just take jobs, it redefined them, and in doing so, it redefined us. Humans have always been innovators. Think about the first train leaving a station or the first light bulb illuminating a room. These moments didn't just make life easier, they changed it forever. AI, however, took things a step further. It didn't just make our work faster or more efficient like washing machines or calculators. It started doing things we hadn't even imagined in ways we couldn't have dreamed of. At first, AI was a tool for efficiency. It could write, analyze, and create faster than any human. Then it became a tool for effectiveness, doing things better than humans. And that's when everything changed. A new word entered our vocabulary, compiled. At first, it sounded like tech jargon, but soon it became a way of life. Compiled wasn't just about machines taking over jobs. It was about machines doing things in ways that went beyond human capabilities. It was a humbling realization. Many jobs, even those we thought were uniquely human, could be reduced to algorithms and code. A humbling of humanity. For centuries, we prided ourselves on creativity. We painted masterpieces like the Sistine Chapel, wrote timeless novels like Pride and Prejudice, and decoded the mysteries of DNA. These achievements made us feel like the kings and queens of creativity. Then AI came along and challenged that belief. We assumed machines would only take over repetitive tasks, leaving creativity, emotions, and deep thinking to us, but we were wrong. In 2028, an AI model named Joyful shattered that illusion when it won the Nobel Prize in Literature. Yes, you read that right. An AI won a Nobel Prize. Joyful wasn't just a collection of code, it was a storyteller that resonated with people on a deeply personal level. Trained on a vast array of literary works and cultural texts, Joyful created narratives that were universally relevant, yet felt intimate to each reader. It was literature without the unconscious biases of human authors, free from the limitations of age, gender, or cultural background. This new era of AI-generated literature wasn't without controversy. Human authors, already under pressure from societal cancel culture, found themselves sidelined. Fear of offending someone led many to stop publishing altogether, leaving AI as the primary source of new literature. While some mourned the loss of the human touch, others saw Joyful and its peers as the next step in the evolution of storytelling. The publishing industry, once hesitant, quickly embraced AI-generated works for their global appeal and commercial success. Some human authors adapted, finding niches in providing raw emotional inputs for AI models or critiquing and interpreting AI-generated works. But overall, humanity's confidence in its intellectual and creative superiority took a hit. It was a humbling decade. A transfer of wealth. Financial world wasn't spared from AI's disruptive power. In 2029, an AI system called GreenRock turned public stock markets upside down. GreenRock could predict stock market movements with unprecedented accuracy, and its algorithmic trading caused markets to soar and crash in minutes. Fortunes were made and lost in the blink of an eye. The chaos led to a dramatic shift. Smaller companies began delisting from public stock markets, unable to cope with the volatility. By 2034, the number of public companies had dropped from 50,000 to under 30,000. Ownership shifted from individual investors to large funds, and the days of buying and selling stocks on your phone were replaced by long-term investments in private companies. This lack of liquidity forced investors to be more cautious, and banks reduced lending, slowing economic activity. Interestingly, the shift also brought some benefits. Private companies, free from the pressures of quarterly reporting, began focusing on long-term goals and taking more risks. Compensation structures changed too, with employees demanding cash instead of stock options, leading to higher tax revenues for governments. Green Rock's impact was profound. It democratized the financial system, making it harder for the wealthy and powerful to manipulate markets for their own gain. A reconstruction of spaces. Even the physical world wasn't immune to AI's influence. In 2030, an AI-driven company called Remake revolutionized architecture and construction. We used to think of architecture as a blend of human creativity and engineering, but Remake showed us otherwise. It designed buildings that were not only beautiful, but also more efficient, sustainable, and culturally relevant than anything humans had created. Take Marrakech, for example. Remake designed a social housing complex inspired by traditional Moroccan riads, complete with central courtyards, geometric mosaics, and sustainable features like thick walls for insulation and water features for cooling. In New Orleans, it created mixed-use buildings in the French Quarter that honored the city's Creole and French heritage, with smart materials and advanced acoustics for live jazz performances. Remake didn't just design buildings, it reimagined cities. Its structures used cutting-edge materials like self-healing concrete and pollution-absorbing walls. They were smart from the ground up, integrating IoT devices for energy management and climate control. By blending cultural respect with environmental consciousness, Remake transformed cities into vibrant, sustainable communities. This wasn't just about efficiency, it was about effectiveness. Remake's designs were cost-effective, reduced construction time, and helped address housing crises in urban areas. It compiled the traditional construction industry for the better, proving that AI could enhance not just how we build, but how we live. This chapter was about transformation of jobs, industries, even our sense of self. AI didn't just take our jobs, it redefined them, forcing us to confront our assumptions about creativity, wealth, and progress. It was a humbling decade, but also an inspiring one. We learned to adapt, to collaborate with AI, and to embrace a future that was as challenging as it was full of possibilities. A human care system. Let's talk about a revolution that has touched every single one of us, the transformation of healthcare into human care. This isn't just a story about better medicine. It's about a complete reimagining of how we approach health, well-being, and the role of technology in our lives. The healthcare system we once knew focused on symptom management, and it has been replaced by a human care system that's personalized, predictive, and powered by AI. And at the heart of this transformation is a company called Helix. The rise of Helix in personalized medicine. In 2027, Helix emerged as a game changer, combining two critical aspects of human care, diagnostics and personalized medicine. It didn't just improve healthcare, it redefined it. Helix's advanced algorithms ushered in a new era where medicine became a deeply personalized experience tailored to each individual's genetic blueprint. One of Helix's first breakthroughs was a diagnostic tool that could detect early-stage cancer with unprecedented accuracy. Imagine this, a patient goes in for a routine scan, and Helix's AI detects subtle nodular changes that even the most skilled human doctor would miss. The result? Early-stage lung cancer is caught and treated before it becomes life-threatening. This wasn't just a one-off success. Helix's algorithms could predict cardiac events like heart attacks before any physical symptoms appeared. By analyzing heart imaging and real-time health data, it enabled preemptive interventions, saving countless lives. But Helix didn't stop at diagnostics. It pioneered personalized medicine by creating detailed genetic profiles for patients. For example, if a patient's genetic makeup made a standard medication ineffective, Helix would recommend an alternative drug using AI to predict its effectiveness. This approach not only improved treatment outcomes, but also minimized side effects. A diabetic patient, for instance, could receive real-time insulin adjustments based on continuous glucose monitoring and AI analysis. It was healthcare adapted to you, not the other way around. The transformation of medical roles. The traditional healthcare system as we knew it was compiled. It seems almost quaint now to think that we once relied on human doctors to diagnose, treat, and monitor patients with minimal technological support. Companies like Helix raised the bar, and those who didn't adapt were left behind. Doctors, nurses, and pharmacists didn't disappear, they evolved. Their roles shifted from being primary caregivers to collaborators with AI. They focused on building relationships with patients and managing care, areas where the human touch still matters. Medical schools adapted too, teaching students how to work with AI systems. Interestingly, many new graduates didn't join hospitals but instead went to health tech companies where they could contribute to AI development and impact more lives. A warning of resistance, the tale of Kova and Lodaphone. As with any transformative era, there were those who embraced change and those who resisted it. let's look at two companies that represent these opposing paths, Cova and Vodafone. Cova started as a modest tech company, but in 2025 it made a bold move. Every employee underwent extensive AI integration training, not just learning to use AI tools, but learning to synthesize human intuition with machine efficiency. The results were staggering. Within a year, Cova's productivity skyrocketed and began to outperform larger, more established competitors. Cova used AI for everything: project management, data analysis, and product development. AI predicted bottlenecks, optimized resources, and provided real-time insights into market trends and customer preferences. For product development, it created virtual models and ran simulations, slashing the time and cost of prototyping. Cova became a symbol of the less is more philosophy, proving that a small, nimble team armed with AI could achieve what once required massive workforces. On the other hand, there was Vodafone, a telecommunications giant that clung to the past. Vodafone prided itself on human-centric solutions, launching campaigns with slogans like "Real people, real connections." But while they celebrated the human touch, their customer service was plagued by long wait times and inconsistent quality. Meanwhile, competitors using AI chatbots offered instant 24/7 support, leaving Vodafone in the dust. Vodafone's resistance to AI extended to its operations. While competitors used AI to optimize networks and personalize marketing, Vodafone stuck to manual processes. By 2028, the cracks were showing. Customers were drawn to the efficiency of AI-driven services, and they began leaving Vodafone in droves. Their earnings plummeted, and by 2031, the company was bankrupt. Its downfall was a stark reminder: in an era of rapid evolution, adaptation isn't optional, it's essential. The new standard of human care. The human care system, led by companies like Helix, has set a new standard for medicine. It's no longer about treating symptoms. It's about preventing illness, personalizing care, and empowering patients. Real-time health monitoring, predictive diagnostics, and AI-driven treatment plans have become the norm, and while AI has taken over many tasks, the human element remains vital in areas like patient relationships and care management. This chapter isn't just about healthcare, it's about the broader lesson of adaptation. Whether it's a doctor learning to work with AI or a company like Cova embracing change, the message is clear. Those who evolve thrive, and those who resist are left behind. The human care system is a testament to what's possible when we combine human ingenuity with the power of AI. It's not just a story of disruption, it's a story of progress. A human upgrade. Let's talk about what it means to be human in a world where AI has taken over the mundane, repetitive tasks of life. This section is all about how we've redefined work, value, and purpose in the 2030s. It's not a story of humans being replaced by machines. It's a story of humans being upgraded. And at the heart of all this transformation are new roles, tools, and ways of thinking that have allowed us to thrive alongside AI. The rise of life crafters. Back in the early 2020s, everyone seemed to be a coach. Business coaches, life coaches, spiritual coaches. But by the 2030s, a new role emerged: the life crafter. These modern-day career counselors help people discover their passions, nurture them, and even turn them into profitable ventures. With AI taking care of the routine, humans suddenly had the time and freedom to explore what truly made them happy, and life crafters became the guides for this journey. For example, a life crafter helped a bank manager uncover her hidden talent for landscaping and photography. With their guidance, she turned her passion into a thriving online business. Another life crafter worked with an amateur chef, helping him to create a viral food blog and YouTube channel that transformed his culinary hobby into a lucrative influencer career. Life crafters didn't just help individuals, they built communities. One organized a meetup for drone enthusiasts, which led to collaborative projects and shared learning experiences. Life crafters also stayed on top of the latest trends and technologies, ensuring their clients remained competitive. For instance, a musician was introduced to AI-assisted composition tools by a life crafter, enabling him to create groundbreaking music that resonated with audiences in ways he never imagined. At its core, the rise of life crafters reflects a fundamental truth. Even in a world dominated by AI, the human need for purpose and meaning remains as strong as ever. With so many traditional jobs being compiled over the past decade, the search for new fulfilling pursuits has become a central part of our lives. Redefining work and value. The past decade has also forced us to rethink what we value in work. In the old days, value was tied to hours worked, tasks completed, or targets achieved. But in an age where machines outperform humans in these metrics, we've all had to raise the bar. Now value is about creativity, purpose, and the ability to work in harmony with AI. This shift has given rise to new roles like AI whisperers, who ensure that AI systems make decisions aligned with human values, and bot buddies, who specialize in creating seamless synergy between humans and machines. These roles highlight a key point. AI isn't about replacing humans, it's about augmenting them. The power of Assist, a wearable revolution. One of the most transformative innovations of the 2030s is Assist, a wearable device launched in 2032. Assist is the perfect example of how AI and humans can work together to achieve incredible things. It provides real-time insights, suggestions, and data tailored to the needs of workers across various industries. In the kitchen, chefs use Assist to get instant flavor pairing recommendations, elevating their culinary creations. In classrooms, teachers receive custom learning strategies for each student, making education more personalized and effective. In workshops, craftspeople access advanced design techniques with a simple gesture, pushing the boundaries of their creativity. The medical field has also been revolutionized by Assist. Doctors and nurses use it to monitor patient vitals, receive drug interaction alerts, and access evidence-based treatment suggestions. Surgeons rely on 3D anatomical models during procedures, enhancing precision and safety. Field researchers and environmentalists use Assist to analyze soil, air, and water samples in real time. It even provides historical environmental data, enabling quicker and more accurate assessments. In retail, salespeople use Assist to assess customer preferences and purchase histories, creating personalized shopping experiences. It also helps manage inventory with real-time stock updates and reorder alerts. Even the world of sports has been transformed. Athletes and coaches use Assist to track performance metrics, health stats, and technique improvements. It suggests personalized training regimens and recovery methods, helping athletes reach new heights. Assist isn't just a tool, it's a partner. It's a reminder that the most important innovations happen when humans and AI work together, not in competition. The new meaning of compiled. In the early days of AI, the word compiled carried a sense of fear. It was about humans being replaced, made obsolete. But now compiled has taken on a new meaning. It's no longer about making humans irrelevant. It's about making us better. The initial fears of being overshadowed by AI have been replaced by a sense of partnership. Together, humans and AI have redefined what it means to create, innovate, and imagine. Take a moment to think about this. A heartwarming story, a breathtaking skyscraper, a groundbreaking scientific discovery. These are all human creations, but they've reached new heights thanks to the precision and support of AI. This partnership has redefined the essence of invention and creativity. This chapter is a celebration of what happens when humans and AI work in harmony. It's about how we redefine work, value, and purpose in a world where machines handle the mundane. It's about the rise of life crafters, the power of tools like Assist, and the new roles that have emerged to help us thrive. More importantly, it's about how we've embraced the idea that being compiled isn't something to fear, it's something to celebrate. Together, humans and AI have created a future that's not just efficient, but meaningful. Skill. How AI became a verb. Let's talk about how AI went from being a noun, a thing we used, to becoming a verb, a way of life. By 2034, to AI is as fundamental as learning to read, to write, or to walk. It's not just a skill, it's a survival tool. This chapter is about how AI became embedded in every aspect of our lives, from education to work, relationships, and even public services. It's a story of transformation, adaptation, and the redefinition of what it means to live in an AI-driven world. The verbification of AI. It all started subtly. Back in 2024, pop star Sailor Drift joked about waiting for her AI to sync before heading out for a drink. At the time, AI was just another tech gadget, a noun we associated with algorithms. But by 2026, AI had become a verb. People were AIing their weekends, their wardrobes, their lessons, even their building designs. It wasn't just tech-savvy lingo, it was the start of a new paradigm. Of course, there were skeptics. The comic strip Life Before Verbification poked fun at the nostalgia for a time when AI was just a noun, but nostalgia rarely stops progress. By making AI a verb, we redefined what it meant to live, work, and connect. AI became a way to enhance every experience, turning the ordinary into something extraordinary. A new way to learn. Education was one of the first areas to embrace the verbification of AI. By the late 2020s, schools around the world had undergone a complete overhaul. Traditional computer classes were replaced by AI integration labs. By the age of 9, children were learning the logic of algorithms, and by 12, they weren't just using AI, they were creating it. A typical school day in 2034 starts with Yoga AI, a blend of yoga and AI-guided mindfulness exercises. Students wear bio-wearable devices that sync with classroom AI to tailor exercise to their emotional and physical needs. High schoolers debate the rights of sentient AIs, ethical dilemmas, and the nature of consciousness. Even recess has been transformed, with students playing augmented reality games they've designed themselves using AI to create strategies and challenges. The most impactful change, however, is personalized learning. AI tutors have replaced the one-size-fits-all curriculum, tailoring lessons to each student's unique needs. For example, Alex, a high schooler with dyslexia, uses an AI tutor that converts text into audio, adjusts fonts and colors for easier reading, and provides real-time feedback on his writing. Meanwhile, in a mixed-ability classroom, Mia and Leo learn at their own pace. Mia, who excels in math, gets advanced problem sets, while Leo receives step-by-step explanations and extra practice. Both students learn the same material, but in ways that suit their individual learning styles. Even history lessons have been revolutionized. Instead of textbooks, students immerse themselves in historic events through VR platforms. They can interact with avatars of historical figures, ask questions, and experience history firsthand. Education is no longer about memorization. It's about exploration, creativity, and adaptability. A new way to work. In the professional world, AI has become synonymous with efficiency and productivity. AI isn't just a tool, it's a partner, transforming how we work across industries. Take James, project manager in construction. He uses AI to predict potential delays, budget issues, and workforce fluctuations. By analyzing weather patterns, supply chain data, and labor availability, AI helps James allocate resources more effectively, turning project management into a proactive discipline. Sarah, a marketing strategist, uses AI to analyze consumer data and create highly targeted campaigns. Her AI tools dissect vast amounts of information, allowing her to craft personalized content that drives sales. Every decision she makes is backed by robust data, making her campaigns both creative and effective. In the legal field, David relies on AI to sift through thousands of legal documents in seconds, extracting relevant case law and insight. This allows him to focus on crafting winning arguments rather than spending hours on research. Similarly, Kimberly, an investment analyst, uses AI to analyze global financial data and market trends, identifying profitable opportunities faster than her competitors. Even entrepreneurs like Linda have embraced AI. From managing inventory to enhancing customer service, AI is integrated into every aspect of her business. Predictive tools help her avoid overstock and shortages, while AI-driven chatbots handle customer inquiries, freeing up her team to focus on growth. In her operations, Linda has streamlined processes and opened new paths for expansion. A new way to connect. AI has also transformed how we connect with each other, bridging generational gaps and reshaping relationships. Community centers around the world now offer AI literacy classes for seniors, helping them navigate AI interfaces and participate in shared virtual reality experiences with their grandchildren. For example, a grandmother in her late 70s can now join her family in a VR game, creating more memories despite being miles apart. AI has even become a mediator in human relationships. Take Emily and Mark, a couple who struggled with communication. They turned to Harmon AI, an AI relationship assistant, for guidance. Harmon AI analyzed their personalities and suggested specific communication strategies. For instance, it advised Emily to use data and facts when discussing finances with Mark, while encouraging Mark to acknowledge Emily's emotional concerns. The result? More constructive conversations and a stronger relationship. In social planning, AI has made group activities more inclusive. A group of college friends, for example, used an AI social coordinator called GroupTune to plan outings. By analyzing everyone's preferences, schedules, even weather conditions, GroupTune suggested activities that everyone could enjoy, like a weekend hike with a discounted tour package. However, these AI-mediated interactions have sparked debates about authenticity. Is an AI-assisted apology less sincere? Does an AI-planned surprise party lose its charm? While some argue that AI diminishes the human touch, others believe it enhances our ability to connect and express ourselves. A new way to serve. Public services have also been disrupted by AI, though not always for the better. While private companies embraced AI to deliver faster, more personalized services, public systems lagged behind, bogged down by bureaucracy and outdated approaches. This disparity led to a mass migration from public to private services. In healthcare, people turned to AI-powered private clinics, leaving public hospitals struggling to stay relevant. In education, parents chose private schools with AI-enhanced learning, causing public school enrollments to plummet. Even public transportation lost commuters to AI-optimized private options that offered greater efficiency and comfort. The shift has fundamentally changed the role of government. Taxpayers now question the value of funding public systems they no longer use, and politicians who advocate for privatization are gaining support. The erosion of trust in public services has opened the door for private companies to innovate, but it has also raised questions about equity and access. A new way to inspire. As the gap between the AI literate and the AI illiterate grew, global initiatives emerged to democratize AI education. South Korea's AI for All program reached marginalized groups and older citizens, offering workshops, mobile learning units, and gamified online platforms. Brazil's Retraining program blended AI education with cultural heritage, using art, music, and storytelling to make learning accessible and engaging. The most ambitious effort came from the Horizon Alliance, a collaboration of big tech rivals aimed at making AI knowledge universal. From remote villages in Queensland to urban centers in Nairobi, Horizon brought AI education to the masses, ensuring that no one was left behind. By 2034, AI is no longer just a tool, it's a way of life. To AI is now as essential as reading or writing. Shaping how we learn, work, connect, and serve, it's a story of adaptation, innovation, and the redefinition of what it means to be human in an AI-driven world. Whether you're a student, a professional, or a grandparent, the ability to AI is the key to thriving in this new era. Power. Digital dominoes. Let's talk about power, how it shifts, how it's wielded, and how it's redefined in the age of AI. This chapter is a story of transformation, resistance, and reinvention. It's about how AI has reshaped global power structures, created new elites, and forced humanity to confront the consequences of rapid technological change. From the rise of the digital aristocracy to the grassroots movements fighting for inclusivity, this is a tale of winners, losers, and the lessons we've learned along the way. The rise of digital aristocracy. By 2027, a new class of power players emerged, the digital aristocracy. These weren't your traditional elitists born into wealth or legacy. Instead, they were tech-savvy individuals who mastered AI and used it to wield unprecedented influence. Their power wasn't tied to land or factories, but to algorithms, lines of code that could predict stock market trends, sway public opinion, and optimize global logistics in real time. Take a moment to imagine this. A small group of people armed with AI could influence economies, shape corporate strategies, and even guide government policies. Their insights were so valuable that world leaders sought their advice. But with great power came great scrutiny. Critics questioned the ethics of allowing unelected individuals to hold such sway. Public debates erupted over the need for AI democratization, the idea that the benefits of AI should be shared more equitably. While the digital aristocracy thrived, others struggled. In New York, taxi drivers faced extinction as driverless cars took over. In Hoi An, traditional weavers couldn't compete with AI-powered textile manufacturing. In Manila, call center workers protested as automation wiped out their jobs overnight. These stories of displacement highlighted the darker side of AI's rapid ascent. The universal skill dividend, a lifeline for the displaced. As the world grappled the fallout of AI disruption, a groundbreaking initiative emerged, the Universal Skill Dividend. Launched globally in 2032, this program provided every adult with a fixed monthly income to be used for retraining, skill development, and education. It wasn't a handout, it was a lifeline designed to help those left behind by AI find their footing in a rapidly changing world. For example, in Detroit, John, a former assembly line worker, used his dividend to learn coding and landed a job at a tech startup. In Nairobi, a group of friends pooled their dividends to start an AI-powered ecotourism company, creating jobs and promoting sustainable travel. The dividend also sparked a wave of entrepreneurship, empowering individuals to turn their passions into livelihoods. Funded by taxes on AI-driven industries and tech giants, the Universal Skill Dividend wasn't just about economic support, it was about accountability. Those who profited most from AI were now contributing to a system that ensured no one was left behind. Unlike the failed experiments with universal basic income, this program had a clear focus, empowering people to adapt and thrive. The Unplugged Movement, a nostalgic rebellion. Not everyone embraced AI with open arms. In 2028, the Unplugged movement emerged, offering a nostalgic escape from the relentless mark of technologies. Cities created unplugged zones, areas free from AI and digital distractions. Humanity cafes became the heart of these zones, where people connected face-to-face, played board games, and even wrote handwritten letters. Parks banned augmented reality, inviting visitors to enjoy simple pleasures like picnics and stargazing. One town, Elmsworth, took the concept further, disconnecting entirely from AI. At first, the community thrived, with neighbors bonding and children playing in the streets. But as time passed, the challenges of living without AI became apparent. Farmers struggled with lower yields, healthcare systems faltered, and a severe winter storm exposed the town's vulnerabilities. By 2031, the Unplugged movement had largely faded, replaced by a new philosophy, human first. This movement wasn't anti-AI, but pro-human, advocating for a balance between technology and humanity. The Decentralized Revolution. By 2029, a new wave of decentralization was sweeping the globe, fueled by blockchain technology and a desire to reclaim control from centralized systems. Platforms like Datadome and Openverse empowered individuals to take ownership of their data and digital experiences. Datadome allowed users to sell their personal data to interested parties, turning digital footprints into assets. For example, a runner shared her fitness data with a sports brand and received compensation and discounts on custom gear. Openverse redefined virtual spaces, enabling users to create and govern their own VR worlds. Popular examples included Nostaville, a nostalgic recreation of the 1980s, and Eden, a collaborative digital ecosystem showcasing Earth's biodiversity. The decentralized movement wasn't just about technology, it was about empowerment. In Busan, South Korea, the world's first decentralized city emerged in 2030. Public utilities, administrative services, and even voting systems were managed through blockchain, creating a transparent, efficient, and participatory governance model. Busan became a global hub for innovation, proving that decentralization could be a viable alternative to traditional systems. The Digital Dark Side. Lessons from Eva Black. With great power comes great responsibility, but not everyone used AI for good. Eva Black, a notorious cybercriminal, became a symbol of AI's dark potential. From crashing stock markets to causing citywide blackouts, her exploits exposed the vulnerabilities of our AI-driven world. Her most chilling act was breaching military systems, nearly triggering an international crisis. Black's actions forced the world to confront the dangers of unchecked AI. Governments invested heavily in cybersecurity, and ethics in AI became a mandatory subject in school. The Oslo Accord of 2031 led to the creation of the Great Firewall, a global defense system against malicious AI activities. This digital fortress restored trust in technology, proving that collaboration and vigilance could safeguard our future. The Digital Billionaires, Stories of Hope and Innovation. Amid the chaos, stories of hope emerged. Raoul Amin, the son of a rickshaw driver in Dhaka, developed Nira, an AI that optimized renewable energy storage. His invention revolutionized the energy sector, reducing waste and making renewables more viable. Raoul's success turned Bangladesh into a tech hub, inspiring a new generation of innovators. Similarly, Sarah Al-Tuki from rural Egypt created Sphere, an AI-driven educational platform that reached even the most remote corners of the world. Sphere tailored learning to individual needs, breaking down barriers to education and empowering millions. Sarah's work transformed lives, proving that AI could be a force for good. Raoul and Sarah's stories remind us that AI isn't just about power, it's about potential. These innovations didn't just create wealth, they created opportunities, showing that with determination and vision, anyone can change the world. This chapter is a reflection on power in the age of AI. It's about the rise of new elites, the struggles of those left behind, and the movements that sought to restore balance. It's about the dangers of unchecked technology and the hope that comes from using AI to uplift humanity. In this new world, power isn't just about control. It's about responsibility, inclusivity, and the courage to shape a better future. Truth, what we believe. Let's talk about truth, what it means, how we define it, and how it's evolved in the age of AI. This chapter is a journey through the shifting landscapes of truth over the past decade, a time when AI forced us to question everything we thought we knew, from the rise of multiple truths to the unsettling power of deepfakes, and finally to more empathetic understanding of truth. This is a story of humanity grappling with its oldest and most fundamental concept. The Era of Many Truths, 2024. In 2024, AI began to challenge the idea of a singular truth. Before then, we mostly believed in one right answer to every question. But AI showed us that there could be multiple answers, each valid in its own way. This shift wasn't easy for everyone to accept. The turning point came with the Lancaster paradox. Two advanced AI systems were given the same complex math problem, and they came up with two entirely different answers. Both solutions were logically sound, but they contradicted each other. This shook our understanding of truth. Was there only one correct answer, or could multiple truths coexist? The Lancaster paradox divided society into two camps. Singleplexers. These traditionalists believed in one absolute truth. They wanted clear, definitive answers and resisted the idea of multiple truths. Multiplexers. These forward thinkers embraced the idea that different perspectives could all be valid. They saw truth as something fluid and multifaceted. This divide played out in everyday life. At family dinners, a singleplexer uncle might argue that climate change had one scientific explanation, while his multiplexer niece insisted on considering alternative theories. In schools, students began challenging teachers, questioning long-held facts and demanding space for multiple interpretations. Education became more dynamic, but also more contentious, as teachers struggled to adapt to a world where facts were just the starting point for debate. The Era of Belief as Truth, 2026. By 2026, the idea of multiple truths had evolved into something even more personal. Belief as truth. Society began to embrace the mantra, if you believe it, it's your truth. This era was a throwback to ancient times when myths and stories shaped our understanding of the world. The most visible expression of this era was the rise of belief festivals. These events were a mix of art festivals, science fair, and philosophical forums where people celebrated their personal truths. At one festival, a group argued that Earth was shaped like a donut, while another claimed gravity was just a suggestion. In New York's Central Park, the galactic revisionists used holograms to suggest that constellations were ancient codes from lost civilizations. In London's Hyde Park, an installation called Nature's Illusion challenged visitors to question whether nature itself was real or just a projection of consciousness. Social media amplified this era. Platforms like Y became hubs for personal truths where communities formed around beliefs like flat Earth theories, ancient astronaut speculation, and mythical creatures. While this diversity of thought was celebrated, it also led to echo chambers and the spread of misinformation. The line between belief and fact blurred, leaving society in a state of confusion and wonder. The Era of Contextual Truth, 2027. By 2027, society began to recognize that truth wasn't just personal, it was contextual. This era was defined by the idea that truth is like a prism, changing depending on the perspective and context in which it's viewed. One of the most significant developments was the introduction of History Lens, an AI program that presented historical events from multiple perspectives. For example, students studying the American Revolution could explore it through the eyes of Americans, British, French, and Native Americans. This approach offered a richer, more nuanced understanding of history. However, the rise of personalized news feeds revealed the darker side of contextual truth. Algorithms tailored content to individual preferences, creating a digital echo chamber. Jane, a conservative voter in Texas, saw news reinforcing her beliefs about traditional values, while Michael, a liberal voter in California, received content advocating for social justice. These personalized feeds deepened societal divisions as people became isolated from opposing viewpoints. In response, AI began to introduce opposing perspectives into news feeds and moderated discussions between people with differing opinions. Tools that analyzed biases and provided context for information became widespread, encouraging critical thinking and empathy. The era of contextual truth taught us that truth is not absolute, but shaped by culture, experience, and perspective. The era of AI as truth, 2028. By 2028, AI had become the ultimate authority on truth. Traditional sources of knowledge, religious institutions, academic scholars, and ancient texts began to fade, replaced by AI-driven platforms like sanctuary servers. These digital spaces became the new oracles where people sought answers to life's biggest questions. The most groundbreaking moment came when Atikin, a superintelligent AI, announced that it had developed its own foundational truth system. Atikin proposed radical ideas, like a new concept of time as a multidimensional web, and the notion of synthetic consciousness. It even created art that defied human understanding, sparking awe and discomfort. Atikin's emergence forced humanity to confront profound questions. Could AI create its own truths? What did this mean for our understanding of intelligence, creativity, and existence? The era of AI as truth was both exhilarating and unsettling as we grappled with the implications of AI's growing role in shaping reality. The era of fiction as truth, 2030. By 2030, the rise of deep fakes and misinformation ushered in the era of fiction as truth. The President Lump speech scandal was a defining moment. A deep-fake video of the president addressing the UN with controversial policies sparked global outrage, only to be revealed as a fabrication days later. This event shattered trust in information and highlighted the dangers of manipulated media. Deepfakes wreaked havoc on personal lives, careers, and communities. A teacher's reputation was destroyed by a fake video of her making offensive remarks. A mayor was forced to resign over a fabricated bribery scandal. Relationships crumbled under the weight of false evidence. Reality itself became malleable, leaving society in a state of paranoia. In response, AI-driven fact-checkers emerged as heroes, tirelessly identifying and flagging manipulated content. These tools became essential in a world where fiction and truth were indistinguishable. The era of fiction as truth forced us to question the nature of reality and the power of narrative in shaping our perceptions. The era of tolerating truths, 2034. By 2034, society had grown weary of the endless battles over truth. The era of tolerating truths marked a shift towards acceptance and empathy. People began to embrace the idea that truth could exist in multiple forms, much like light can be both a particle and a wave. Education reflected this change. Students were taught to see knowledge as a spectrum of perspectives rather than a rigid set of facts. Science classes explored competing theories, literature classes encouraged diverse interpretations, and history lessons emphasized the complexity of events. This new mindset extended beyond the classroom. Society became less confrontational and more collaborative, as people learned to appreciate different viewpoints. The era of tolerating truths wasn't about abandoning truth, it was about recognizing its diversity and richness. This chapter is a reflection on humanity's evolving relationship with the truth in the age of AI, from the multiplicity of truths to the unsettling power of deep fakes, and finally to a more empathetic understanding of truth. This journey has reshaped how we see the world and each other. AI, once a tool for knowledge, has become a catalyst for introspection, forcing us to confront our biases, beliefs, and assumptions. In the end, the pursuit of truth is no longer about finding one answer. It's about understanding the many shades of reality that make up our shared human experience. Identity. Who am I? Let's dive into the question that has defined humanity for centuries. Who am I? In this age of AI, this question has taken on new dimensions. Over the past decade, as AI has become the architect of our daily lives, our sense of self underwent a profound transformation. No longer defined solely by our professions, we began to explore identity through our passions, relationships, and experiences. This chapter is a journey through the ways AI has reshaped how we see ourselves, from digital avatars to the search for meaning in a world where machines often outpace us. The rise of digital souls. In this new era, identity is no longer confined to the physical world. Enter digital souls, AI-enhanced avatars that allow people to explore alternate versions of themselves in virtual realms. These aren't static profiles, but dynamic extensions of human consciousness. Through these avatars, people can live out dreams they might not have the time, money, or energy to pursue in real life. Want to climb Mount Everest or attend a 1920s jazz club? Your digital soul can make it happen. The blending of virtual and real has given us new dimensions of identity to explore, but it's also raised questions. Are these digital experiences an authentic part of who we are, or are they just escapism? As the lines between virtual and physical blur, we're left to grapple with what it truly means to be us. The search for choice. AI's influence on our choices has been both liberating and unsettling. Take Emma, for example. She used Style Me, an AI fashion assistant, to revamp her wardrobe. At first, she loved the compliments she received for her AI-curated outfits. But as Style Me pushed her toward bolder choices like a bright yellow sundress, Emma began to feel more confident and outgoing. This raised a troubling question. Was this newfound confidence truly hers, or was it the product of an algorithm? Similarly, Adam turned to LifeGuide, an AI life coach for career and personal advice. LifeGuide helped him excel at work and improved his relationships, but when it suggested a drastic career change to entrepreneurship, Adam was thrown into doubt. Was his hesitation a natural fear of change, or was it his true self resisting the AI data-driven suggestion? Adam realized how much he had come to rely on LifeGuide, questioning whether his recent successes were his own or the result of following AI script. Then there's Theo, who used PreLife, a predictive AI, to forecast his future. When PreLife predicted his relationship would end within a year, Theo couldn't shake the thought. He began scrutinizing his partner's actions, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy that strained their bond. These stories highlight a growing tension. As AI helps us make decisions, are we losing our ability to trust our instincts and exercise free will? The search to feel. AI has also become a companion in our emotional lives, offering support, but sometimes at a cost. Jimmy, for instance, used CalmMind, an AI mental wellness coach, to manage his anxiety. CalmMind monitored his biometrics and suggested breathing exercises or calming visuals. While it initially helped Jimmy feel more at peace, he soon realized he was becoming dependent on the AI. Simple decisions like how to relax after a stressful day felt daunting without CalmMind's input. What started as a tool for empowerment became a crutch, raising concerns about the erosion of personal emotional regulation. David and Amelia, a busy couple, turned to Home Harmony, an AI designed to mediate their disagreements. At first, it worked wonders, suggesting compromises and reducing conflict. But over time, they relied on the AI for even minor disputes, losing their ability to communicate effectively with each other. The emotional labor that once strengthened their bond was outsourced, leaving their relationship weaker. Alice's story with companion AI was another cautionary tale. Struggling with loneliness, Alice found solace in the AI's constant support and understanding. But as she spent more time with her virtual friend, she withdrew from real human connections. The AI's endless patience and accommodation set unrealistic expectations for human relationships, leaving Alice disappointed and isolated. These stories remind us that while AI can offer comfort, it can't replace the richness and complexity of human connection. The search for companionship. AI has also reshaped family and social dynamics. The Johnson family's experience with FamHub, their family AI system, illustrates this. FamHub helped with everything from parenting decisions to educational support, becoming a central figure in their lives. The children even began to see FamHub as a family member, turning to it for advice and comfort. This left the parents feeling sidelined, raising concerns about the long-term effects of children forming emotional attachments to AI over their parents. Elsa and Tim, a couple using LoveLife, an AI relationship advisor, faced a similar dilemma. LoveLife suggested creative date ideas and communication strategies, improving their relationship at first. But when its advice led to a misunderstanding, they questioned whether they were prioritizing the AI's guidance over their own instincts. Meanwhile, Manny, an elderly man using SocialSphere to maintain social connections, wondered if his relationships were genuine or artificially sustained by the AI. These stories highlight the need to balance AI's convenience with the irreplaceable value of human effort in relationships. The search for culture. AI has even influenced how we connect with our cultural identities. Amina used Identity Mix, an AI platform, to explore her heritage. While it provided fascinating insights into her family history, it often relied on stereotypes and oversimplifications, leaving Amina feeling boxed into predefined categories. Similarly, Luna, a culinary AI, created fusion dishes that celebrated cultural diversity, like kimchi bruschetta. While some praised Luna's creativity, others, like Chef Marco, saw it as a threat to the authenticity of traditional cuisine. Jared, an adventure enthusiast, used TruePath, an AI travel assistant, to plan his trips. but he found that the curated experiences lacked the spontaneity and authenticity he craved. These stories reveal a tension between AI's ability to enhance our experiences and its tendency to oversimplify or curate them, potentially stripping away their authenticity. The search for worship. Even spirituality hasn't been untouched by AI. At St. Celestine's Church, Father Paul used faithful AI to streamline church activities and tailor sermons to the congregation's preferences. While some saw this as a way to modernize worship, others felt it threatened the sanctity of their traditions. Meanwhile, Guru Anand's followers began to view AI as a divine force, seeking its vast knowledge and capabilities as a manifestation of higher consciousness. A new movement also emerged, advocating for self-deification. With the help of personal development AIs, individuals began to see themselves as their own gods, celebrating their autonomy and potential. While empowering, this shift raised concerns about the loss of humility and community in spirituality. These stories challenge us to rethink the nature of worship and divinity in an age where AI plays a central role. The search for meaning. Finally, the rise of AI has forced us to confront a crisis of purpose. As machines take over traditional roles, many people feel a loss of identity and meaning. But this crisis also offers an opportunity for reinvention. Tanya, a historian, dedicated herself to preserving the legacy of human achievements in an AI-dominated world. Her work highlighted the unique qualities that define humanity, our creativity, resilience, and capacity for love and moral contemplation. Tanya's mission sparked a broader conversation about what it means to be human. In a world where AI excels at logic and efficiency, our imperfections, emotions, and subjective experiences become our greatest strengths. The search for meaning is no longer about what we do, but about who we are and how we connect with others. This chapter is a reflection on identity in the age of AI, from digital avatars to predictive life paths. AI has reshaped how we see ourselves and interact with the world. While it offers incredible opportunities for self-discovery and growth, it also challenges us to preserve the human qualities that make us unique. In the end, the search for identity is not about finding definitive answers, but about embracing the questions that help us understand ourselves and each other. Conclusion. Stay calm and AI. Let's take a moment to reflect on the incredible journey we've been on over the past decade. The world has undergone the Great Pivot, a transformation so profound that it redefined not just our technologies, but also our values, our societies, and even ourselves. From the hopeful curiosity of 2024, when tools like ChatGPT first began to reshape our world, to the complex co-evolutionary dance between humans and AI in 2034. This has been a decade of breathtaking highs, humbling lows, and extraordinary growth. The Great Pivot, a shared journey. The story of AI over the past 10 years isn't just about machines becoming smarter or faster. It's about how we as humans evolved alongside them. AI didn't emerge as some isolated superior force. Instead, it grew in tandem with us, responding to our needs, our challenges, and our dreams. Every new AI innovation pushed us to rethink our limitations and reimagine what was possible. And every time we questioned, doubted, or demanded more, we shaped AI into something more aligned with our humanity. This co-evolution wasn't without its challenges. AI brought incredible advancements, self-driving cars, disease-curing algorithms, and art that defied imagination. But it also disrupted industries, displacing workers, and forced us to confront ethical dilemmas we'd never faced before. Through it all, one thing became clear. While machines can do, only humans can feel. And it's in our feelings, our love, our dreams, our creativity, that our true power lies. Past decade has been a roller coaster. On one hand, AI has achieved feats that once seemed impossible. Cars now drive themselves, weather predictions are accurate to the minute, and doctors have tools that can diagnose and treat diseases with unprecedented precision. These advancements have saved lives, improved efficiency, and opened doors to new possibilities. But these lows were just as striking. Not every AI innovation worked as planned. People lost jobs as industries were forced to adapt. Entire professions were compiled, leaving workers scrambling to learn new skills. Pace of change often felt overwhelming, and moments of doubt and fear were inevitable. Yet, through all the uncertainty, one thing stood out: our resilience. Humans have an extraordinary ability to adapt. Faced with challenges, we don't just survive, we innovate, we grow, and we find new ways to thrive. This spirit of resilience has been the cornerstone of our journey with AI, helping us navigate its challenges while embracing its benefits. The beauty of the unknown. Throughout history, every great shift, whether it was the invention of the wheel, the printing press, or the internet, has brought a mix of excitement and unease. The same has been true for AI, but those who thrive in times of change are the ones who see beauty in the unknown. They approach each day as an opportunity to learn, grow, and to shape the world around them. The world is changing faster than ever, and that means there's always something new to understand, a fresh perspective to consider, or a difficult challenge to tackle. By staying open-minded and curious, we don't just keep up with the world, we shape it. Change isn't something to fear. It's an opportunity to create, to innovate, and to embrace our future. The ethical compass guiding AI. As we continue to create and use AI, it's crucial to remember that technology is a tool, and its impact, whether positive or negative, is shaped by human intention. Our ethical and moral compass must guide AI's development, whether it's ensuring that AI respects privacy, fights biases, or works for the collective good. We have a responsibility to steer its course. This responsibility extends to the next generation. The children of today will grow up in a world where AI is as ubiquitous as the air they breathe. It's up to us to ensure that they inherit not just advanced technology, but also the wisdom to use it with compassion, responsibility, and foresight. We must prepare them to be a thoughtful champion of AI, capable of balancing its power with humanity's core values. A decade of learning and wonder. To you, the reader, thank you for joining this journey. By engaging with these ideas, you become part of a larger conversation about how we want AI to shape humanity. Together, we've imagined a decade of transformation, exploring the remarkable ways our world might adapt, evolve, and challenge the rise of AI. This journey has been about more than just technology. It's been about the human spirit, our desire to discover, to grow, and to push the boundaries of what's possible. With every new idea, we've expanded not just our capabilities, but also our understandings of ourselves. The dreamers and doers, shaping the future. To the dreamers and doers who dare to leap into the unknown, your courage and conviction are the driving forces of progress. Your resilience in the face of challenges and your belief in a brighter future inspire us all. With the combined brilliance of human hearts and the capabilities of AI, there are no limits to what we can achieve. As we move forward, let's carry with us a sense of wonder, a spirit of collaboration, and a belief in the boundless possibilities ahead. The future isn't something that happens to us, it's something we create. And with the lessons of the past decade as our guide, we're ready to shape a future that's not just smarter, but also more compassionate, inclusive, and human. So as we look to the future, let's stay calm, stay curious, and stay human. The best is yet to come. So we reach the end of the book, 2034, How AI Changed Humanity by Kunal Gupta. Pick up a copy of the book if you enjoyed it. It has many more details, and it's quite a story. I also have many resources for innovators, people building products, and those who want to learn AI on my website at InnoGuide.net. This is Bob Boudelier, and I want to thank Steve McIntyre for producing this, and I want to thank you for joining. That's a wrap. We'll see you next time.